What's up, YouTube? Kidmoto22 here, coming to you today with, well, I guess would be a review of my trip, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to take you with me on the road trip my wife and I took this last weekend to Duluth, Minnesota. We went up the North Shore, came back down, stayed in Duluth a couple days on the way there and on the way back. And I just want to take you along with me. I learned a few lessons on this trip, for sure. The first thing is not everything goes the way you want it to go when you're taking a road trip. I had some difficulties with camera issues. We had, certainly some technical difficulties with some audio, some video, all these things that you kind of experience when you're trying to document a road trip. So not everything's perfect, but we did the best we could. So I'm going to take you with me. I'm not really sure yet whether I'm going to get 1 or 2 segments out of this. It's very likely going to be 2 parts, and then we'll go and do a little bit of a reflection ride at the end and kind of let you guys know what we thought, how we felt about the trip, and give you guys a little bit of insight on, maybe if you were going to do your own, 2-up road trip. So we'll take you along, and let's get to it right now. What is up, YouTube? This is Kidmoto, and I have Mrs. Kidmoto with me again, and we are heading out on our first road trip. If you watched any of my other content, you'd know that we are heading out to Duluth, Minnesota, and going to head up the North Shore all the way to Canada. And this is our first official road trip together. It's going to be Mrs. Kidmoto's first long road trip. And we're just going to bring you guys some content of our 4 days on the road and what that looks like. So it's going to be a fun time for us, and it's going to be a really good experience, hopefully, cross our fingers, for Mrs. Kidmoto. Learning experience in terms of what she likes in riding, and whether long trips and distance riding is going to be something that she's going to want to do with me more in the future. So stay tuned for more of this all weekend long. So what do you think? The bike's all loaded down? We both overpacked, I'm sure.
Probably.
What are you feeling right now?
I am excited. I'm ready to do this.
Nice. Are you nervous?
A little. Are you nervous?
Am I nervous?
To have my life in your hands?
No, I'm not nervous about that.
Okay.
I am cautiously optimistic. That sounds like a canned answer, doesn't it?
Totally.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm a little nervous just because of the anticipation of taking you on a long road trip. I think you should be a little nervous if you're going on a road trip and taking roads that you haven't been on before, and going into areas you haven't been before. I think being a little nervous is okay, because I think that will keep you on your toes and keep you vigilant.
Right.
I think that's obviously one of the most important things about taking a long trip, is making sure that you're prepared both physically and mentally for the trip, and for some people what we're doing over this weekend is not even a long trip, right? I mean,
right, for sure. 800
miles or 850 miles over the course of 4 days is not a lot for some people. So but considering this is going to be the first time you've done this,
right,
and we're going to be driving essentially entirely across the state of Minnesota, albeit across the thinnest part of Minnesota. We are going to be heading across the whole state. So that is exciting. It's going to be, I think, fun, obviously, for both of us, and to get away from all the kind of nastiness that everyone's been experiencing in the world right now. So
right. And our weather looks like it's going to be perfect.
Absolutely, yeah. That was one thing that we were again kind of anticipating. We didn't really know at the beginning of the week. We
were fairly convinced we were going to be riding in rain for part of the trip, and that didn't dissuade us. We do have rain gear and everything, so we packed kind of for every possibility, basically, I think. So we have plenty of clothes, I think, to stay warm, albeit I think it looks like it's going to be gorgeous. I don't think we're going to need any of the warm gear. In fact, I'm all geared up right now, and so, but I don't think I'm going to need any of it. I think I'll be stripping off pretty quickly throughout the day. But if you don't bring it, you don't have it, and if you don't have it, you're going to need it. So that's kind of, I think, a pretty well-known fact about motorcycle trips, is that you're always going to forget something that you are going to end up needing at some point in time on your trip.
Better to be over-prepared.
Yeah, I think so.
As long as you have the room to pack everything.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so, and that was a little bit of a challenge for us. It was the first time I was packing for 2 people. So when I went to the Midwest Moto Meetup last year, and when I went camping last summer, I was packing for 1 person, and so I had very little concern for you know, what I was packing for myself. And this time around, I definitely had to think more about what I was packing for me, because I needed to make sure I was leaving room for Mrs. Kidmoto and all the things she was going to need to bring. So at the last minute last night, really quite literally at the 11th hour, it was I think 11:30 last night, I decided that we were going to bring another bag and strap it on the top. I have a dry bag. For those of you that don't know, a dry bag is essentially just that. It's a bag that you can put stuff in, and you can strap it to any spot on your bike, and if it rains, you don't have to worry about your contents getting wet, because the bag is waterproof. So if you are going to be taking any type of long trips, a dry bag is highly recommended. So I have a Rick Rack bag system that I have on the very back, and at some point, maybe this winter, I think I'll probably do my review. I've used it already for a full season. My Rick Rack bag has about 4,000 miles on it, and it will have significantly more by the end of this season. And so I will give you a full review, both first impressions and I guess not even a first impressions, just a full review of that bag system and what I thought about that, and how I've used it over the course of 2 seasons. I'll bring that to you this summer, or this winter I should say, when I won't be riding. I'll do a review of that bag system, because that is a very good alternative when you have a bike like this that does not have a back case on it, and I don't intend on putting one on. I like the look of it without it, and it gives me another option just for additional space when traveling. So, but we have filled all of our space for traveling. The Rick Rack bag is full, and both of the saddlebags are full, and then I have some stuff in the dry bag too. And truthfully, you know, the dry bag is going to carry most of our gear. I would guess that we're going to end up stripping off, truthfully. And then one of the things we didn't have room for was, if we buy anything on this trip, we did not have any space for pretty much anything additional than what we have right now. So now with that dry bag, we will have space for anything else that we want to bring with us. So just gives us another option for traveling, which is always good. So that's about what I have for you guys now. We will see you guys again later today as we continue our travels.
Is it 2 fingers for Harley?
Huh?
2 fingers for Harley?
2 fingers down, yep. And you got to go down. You don't want to wave or do anything like that. It's 2 fingers straight down.
Gotcha.
It's it's like a, when you're doing it, it's like you know, keep your two wheels on the road, you know, be safe, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
And you're saying hi, all at the same time.
Best wishes.
Exactly.
Hey, buddy.
I don't know if that's really the right one, but
Bye, Felicia.
that's not right at all.
Okay. So just so you know, whenever you decide to start recording, you didn't do your clap thing yet.
I don't have to do that. Only have to do that with 2 cameras.
Oh, okay.
And I've already been recording, so I got Bye Felicia on there.
Oh, shit.
So we're back, YouTube. Kidmoto
Yes, we are.
and Mrs. Kidmoto are here. We are about 50 miles from our destination in Duluth.
43.3 miles.
43.3 miles based on the GPS, if you can see that right in front of us. And so yeah, it's been a pretty good trip. We've had a couple of exciting moments, and we'll go ahead and tell you about those. So we left Grand Forks, and it was a balmy, almost 70 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was a very humid day. But we decided to gear up anyway, so I wore my leather jacket, my chaps, my gauntlet gloves, and we got about 40 miles from home, and it clouded up and dropped by 15 degrees or so, and was super windy and was cold. And so we were completely ready because we were geared up, but had we not been, it would have been a chilly ride up until now. So now we're finally in nicer weather, and it looks like when we roll into Duluth, it's going to be about 85. So perfect, exactly. So this is significantly different scenery than you would normally see riding around Grand Forks where we live. This is very kind of woodsy, upper, I guess, you know, kind of northern Minnesota looking area, which is not like where we live, which is totally flat and no, you know, forests or trees like you see in Minnesota. So significantly different scenery, already about 200 miles from home. So yeah, so that's where we are.
Okay, tell them what happened.
Oh yeah, so I should tell you what happened. So we were making our, I believe, our 3rd stop of the day, and we were pulling into a parking lot, and there was about 5 empty spaces, and I was going to pull in and turn, so I was going to be facing out. And I started making the turn, and I got deep into the turn, and everything was going fine until I mistakenly used my front brake instead of my back brake, and that immediately stopped our turn, and we tipped over.
Almost entirely.
Yeah, not entirely, and I have to say, full transparency, this is the first time I've ever done this. I've never tipped a bike over, so I was pretty embarrassed, but I got my leg down, and Mrs. Kidmoto got her leg down, and the highway peg on the left side of the bike also, which was the way we were turning, was also down, and that kind of saved us a little bit. And we got our legs down, and then Mrs. Kidmoto jumped off right away and pushed us straight back up. Hooray for, I hope guys you can see that in the mirror. she's doing this with her arm. So yeah, she pushed us up, and I was of course still straddling the bike, and yeah, so that's what happened. We tipped over.
Got the heartbeat beating a little faster?
Yep, we did not. The saddlebag didn't touch the ground.
Yeah.
I think the driver's side footboard might have touched the ground. I think that was something else that kind of broke the fall, but nothing else hit the ground. The bike didn't nothing happened. No scratches, no marks, no, you know, nothing cracked or broken or anything. So we stood it back up, and really the only thing that was hurt was my pride for, you know, making a mistake and being an idiot and using my front brake deep into a turn, which is obviously you know, sounds like kind of a rookie mistake, but if you want to call it that, that's what it was. I did it. I was completely my fault, and I misjudged it. And, you know, honestly, when you go out on a road trip, especially what we're going to be gone for 4 days, so we have both saddlebags packed down. We have a bag on the back. The Rick Rag bag is packed on the back, and that's full. And a dry bag on top of that, which is fairly full. So the bike itself is significantly heavier than we normally ride when we ride 2 up. We were in a place that we were unfamiliar with, I'm unfamiliar with, and I made a mistake, and these things happen. But the good thing is that no one was hurt. The better thing is the bike wasn't hurt. I should rephrase that. No one was hurt. That's the best thing. The bike wasn't hurt. That's the next best thing. But you know, my pride was hurt, and I feel a little bit like an ass. But
Okay.
But yeah.
You know what? If you have to tip over, that's like the best case scenario, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're going to tip over and that's going to happen, and nobody gets hurt, and your bike doesn't get hurt, I guess he did it right then. So, but yeah, now we're riding, and it's an absolutely gorgeous day out. There's just a few clouds. It's a little windy, but you know, a day on a bike with a little wind is better than most days I can think of. So here we are, and Mrs. Kidmoto has been a trooper. She is she's doing well. I'm thoroughly impressed and excited for her. We stopped probably 2 more times than I would have doing this trip by myself. But to be truthfully honest, I haven't minded the stop and taking a break and getting off. I felt very refreshed every time we've gotten back on, so it hasn't been a big deal. We've stopped a few minutes. I mean, this trip that's 260 miles, we started off this morning about 7:45, and we are going to be rolling in probably about 3 o'clock. Yeah, I suppose. And we did stop for lunch, and we stopped to actually charge my phone, and I had a sandwich. So there you go. I mean, that's, you know, that's the majority of our day. But sorry about the wind there, but for the most part, it's been a really good ride, and it's been a good day on the bike.
And we avoided disaster.
And we avoided disaster, right? So, how's the day been for you?
I'm good. Definitely glad that we took the break. The only thing that's bothering me is like my right hip is getting kind of cramped up. So just trying to stretch and try to move a little bit. You can tell when I'm starting to get more uncomfortable because I'm wiggling around a lot more. Getting off and stretching. I'm glad the sun came out because I was getting scared of the clouds and the cold. Maybe it's cold. I take off my jacket
Yeah, so that's about it. You can kind of see the scenery. Obviously, we're not on any like crazy fun curvy roads or anything like that, but certainly this is a lot different scenery than what we see when we're at home. And we've just kind of been enjoying the ride, enjoying the sights, and enjoying each other's company, and glad to be out on vacation. So it's been really good. So we will catch you when we get a little bit closer to Duluth, and we'll see you in a few minutes. So welcome back, YouTube. We are rolling into Duluth. pretty soon. Oh, looks like we have about 7.5 miles before our destination. And we are rolling into the what will look like a coastal city, actually. Duluth, Minnesota, right on the border of Lake Superior. It looks just like a coastal city.
There's a Harley shop right there.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's right there.
I wonder if that's the only one.
Well, I don't know.
Because we're not even technically in Duluth yet, so there could be another one even.
Yeah, you're right about that. There could be more than one.
How cool would that be?
I'm not even sure. Do you know what the population of Duluth is?
Don't know.
Me neither. Okay. 0.2 miles. I got a turn, it looks like.
I need to get over.
I'm on the front handbrake a lot during this time because we're on these hills.
Scares me. I had a bad experience with the front handbrake today.
I'm not lying. It scares me a little bit too. Man, am I glad I took my leathers off. Wow.
Right? It's warm now.
It is warm. I can feel that sun beating on me. This is a pretty amazing view down this hill. You can see the lake in front of us.
Yeah, nice. Okay, your turn is, I think, this one. Yeah.
21st?
Yeah, you're in the left turn lane already anyway. Yep, there's another view of the lake. Very nice. I am beginning to think that the Edgewater Hotel is, in fact, on the edge of the water. You just take it nice and slow on these hills with that front brake action.
Yep, I'm actually trying to avoid the front brake right now.
London Road, which I think is not this light, but possibly the next one.
Take a what? A left?
Yes. No, not this one though. London Road.
Okay. Look at the house.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
This is Superior Street.
Huge homes down here.
Yeah, right.
Huge old homes. Really cool. Guessing probably at this light. Yes, the light.
At this light?
Mm-hmm.
Take a left?
Yes.
Oop, sorry.
Ouch. And parking lot, it says. Be off to the right.
It's going to be on our right side.
Yep, in 800 feet, it says.
Is it right here? The Edgewater. Yeah, it's right here.
Oh yeah, here it is. Tiki Tom's Breakfast Buffet. view.
Right?
Dang, we should have brought our suits.
Yeah, we should have.
Sit in the sun. Well, it's okay.
All right, guys, we're here, and we'll see you in a bit.